Today is a recently completed BDI CDS 302 Automatic Composite Switcher DA. We still make. We've been making these for quite a while now, but demand is still there for them, so we're still producing them. This is an analog composite switcher and DA. There are now, of course, multiplex over AES versions of this that we manufacture, but this is the analog version. And I wanted to demonstrate one important feature of this particular unit in the analog domain, and that's the response characteristic and the phase response of the unit in the desired passband from, let's say, 0 DC really up to approximately 100 kilohertz. So I am feeding the unit with a 10 hertz 4 volt peak to peak square wave, 50% duty cycle square wave. And if we look at the output on the scope here, I have it wound way down so you can see it. It's 10 milliseconds per division. You see that you have a nice flat, straight, horizontal part of the waveform, and then the vertical part of the waveform is very straight as well. So the flat top and bottom indicates that you have two things. One is you have frequency response down that far, and you also don't have any appreciable phase shift that would be caused by things that would be in the signal path, such as capacitors. There are no capacitors in the signal path of this unit. This is a DC coupled unit. So this is extremely important for a couple of things. One, for stereo performance, but also minimizing tilt and overshoot will maximize the amount of modulation that you can apply to the exciter without having to back off the stereo generator output. So this is extremely important to keep that very flat like that, and we achieve that by using DC coupling. Now I can step this up a bit, and now I'm up to about it's about 100 hertz, and it still looks pretty good. So let's just convert over to a sine wave here, and it's a little easier to see that with as far as the response is concerned. Of course, I'm getting a little interaction between the camera and the scope, so I have to keep pointing that out so that you can see it. We're up to about a kilohertz now, and you can see that it's still pretty flat. And let's keep going. That's 2 kilohertz. Let's run it up to, there's 10 kilohertz. And of course, we got to be concerned with going all the way up to, and there's 50 kilohertz, 90 kilohertz, 100 kilohertz. So it's pretty flat. And so the two things that are very important is phase linearity in the passband and response flatness out to, well, in this case it's about 100 kilohertz. You don't necessarily need that for FM stereo, but it's nice to know that you have response out that far just the same. So again, the CDS 302, available from BDI. Check it out on our website, www.broadcast-devices.com. Go to the audio products page, and it's on that page, and you can download a data sheet with application notes, etc. And as I say, we're still producing them, so if you have a need for something like this, contact your local broadcast distributor, also found on our distributor page on our website, and they'd be more than happy to help you. And thanks for watching.